Elon Musk, who for months has been strenuously trying to back out of a deal to buy Twitter for $44 billion, now appears ready to buy the company after all. In a surprise letter to Twitter on Monday night, Mr. Musk offered to take Twitter private at his originally proposed price, $54.20 per share, making a possible end to one of the most dramatic legal feuds in Silicon Valley history. It's worth noting that the deal could still fall apart. Mr. Musk is still famously subject to 11-hour mood shifts, but the most likely outcome now is that the world's richest man will in fact become Twitter's new owner, possibly as soon as this week. Much is unknown about what Mr. Musk will do with Twitter if he acquires it. The mercurial billionaire has made only the vaguest of public statements about his plan for the company and its products. But we now know, thanks in part to a bevy of text messages released as part of the protracted legal battle, that it will be nothing like business as usual, and there are at least 5 predictions we feel confident making. If the deal does in fact close, he's going to clean house, starting with firing Twitter's chief executive, Parag Agrawal. A juicy set of text messages between Mr. Musk and his friends and business associates emerged last week as part of the legal battle. In them, Mr. Musk made clear that he was unhappy with Twitter's current leadership, in particular with Parag Agrawal, the chief executive, who took over last year from Jack Dorsey. The text revealed that Mr. Agrawal had initially sought to work constructively with Mr. Musk, and the two even had a friendly dinner near San Jose, California in March. But the men eventually clashed. Mr. Agrawal at one point told Mr. Musk via text message that this habit of tweeting things like, "Is Twitter dying?" was not helping me make Twitter better. "What did you get done this week?" Mr. Musk shot back. "This is a waste of time." From reading Mr. Musk's text, it's clear he believes that Twitter's leadership is weak and ineffective, and lacks the ability to carry out his vision for the company. If Mr. Agrawal doesn't immediately resign once the deal is complete, I'd expect Mr. Musk to fire him on day one and name himself or a close ally as a replacement. Mr. Musk has also expressed displeasure with other Twitter executives, and it's hard to see how he could fire Mr. Agrawal without also clearing out most or all of the company's top leadership and installing his own slate of loyalists. Employees will revolt. Another easy prediction to make about Mr. Musk's takeover is that it will generate enormous backlash among Twitter's rank-and-file employees. Twitter, more so than other social media platforms, has a vocally progressive workforce and many employees who are deeply invested in the company's mission of promoting healthy conversation. These employees may believe, for good reason, that under Mr. Musk's leadership, Twitter will abandon many of the projects they care about in areas like trust and safety, or they may simply not want to deal with the drama and tumult of a Musk regime and start looking for jobs elsewhere. Some employees have already quit, anticipating a Musk takeover, and it's safe to bet that many more will follow if the deal actually closes. It's worth noting that in his text with Mr. Musk, Mr. Agrawal claimed that a large silent majority of Twitter employees supported Musk's vision, but virtually every Twitter employee I've spoken to in the last 6 months has told me that he or she plans to leave if Mr. Musk takes over. It's also worth noting that Mr. Musk may not mind if thousands of Twitter employees show themselves the door. He has implied that the company's staff is bloated, and now that he needs to justify a $44 billion price tag, an exodus of unhappy employees might be the kind of savings he's looking for. Donald Trump will return to Twitter, along with a swarm of other right-wing culture warriors. Mr. Musk, who has framed his bid for Twitter as an attempt to preserve free speech on the platform, has long said that, if successful, he would allow former President Donald J. Trump to reclaim his Twitter account, which was permanently suspended last year after the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. But Mr. Musk's re-platforming will extend far beyond the president. A host of right-wing culture warriors could come back to the service with Mr. Musk's blessing, and including those who were barred for expressing hateful views, spreading false conspiracy theories and harassing other users. In his text messages, Mr. Musk told Agrawal that he wanted to reverse all permanent Twitter bans, except for spam accounts and those that explicitly advocate violence. Mr. Musk, who styles himself a centrist but often crusades against the woke left, has made no secret of his plans to make Twitter a friendlier platform for right-wing voices. He has expressed support for the Babylon Bee, a conservative satire site whose Twitter account was suspended after it published a transphobic humor piece about a Biden administrative official, and Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, whose personal Twitter account was suspended this year for repeatedly sharing misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. He urged Mr. Musk to reinstate her with other right-wing commentators, including Alex Jones, the founder of InfoWars. It probably won't change the midterms, but 2024 could be the Elon election. Mr. Musk's takeover could happen before next month's midterm elections, and if it does, there could still be time for him to make decisions, like allowing Mr. Trump back on the platform or loosening restrictions on political ads that could reshape the conversation about some races. But Mr. Musk, who, let's not forget, runs several other companies, will have his hands full between now and November. And we don't think that, with only a month left until the elections, there will be a straight line from Mr. Musk's takeover to, say, a Republican sweep of close House and Senate races. The 2024 election, though, will be a different story. By then, if the deal is consummated, Mr. Musk will have been able to more fully mold Twitter in his own image. The platform could look radically different by then. More right-wing trolls, fewer guardrails against misinformation and extremism, or it could be largely the same. But Mr. Musk will be firmly in charge, and if Twitter still plays anywhere near the role in American political and media culture that it does today, he will emerge as a central, polarizing figure in the 2024 election cycle. Republicans are, for obvious reasons, excited about Mr. Musk's taking over, but the ultimate political consequence of his ownership are harder to predict. It's theoretically possible, though, we concede, probably unlikely, that Mr. Musk's owning Twitter could be good for Democrats in 2022 and 24. If it allows more Republican politicians to stake out extreme positions on Twitter that end up backfiring on them at the ballot box. But whatever moves Mr. Musk makes before 2024, it's a good bet that they will be closely scrutinized for signs that he is putting his thumb on the scale. Twitter will kill unpopular features, go after bots, and introduce new subscription products. Some of the most revealing exchanges in Mr. Musk's trove of text messages were about his thoughts on Twitter products. In particular, Mr. Musk was dismissive of Twitter Blue, the company's subscription-based product that gives users access to premium features like ad-free articles and an undo button for tweets. Perhaps surprisingly, given his love of cryptocurrency, Mr. Musk also appeared skeptical of proposals to rebuild Twitter on a decentralized blockchain, saying that blockchain Twitter won't work. Based on his statements and pitches he made to investors this summer while trying to pull a deal together, I'd expect Mr. Musk to make several changes to Twitter products early on. First, he will move to shut down many of Twitter's non-core features, including some of those in Twitter Blue, but also any other features that don't generate much revenue for the company. He will try to rid the site of spam bots, and a problem that he has long singled out as one of the worst parts of Twitter, and which the basis of his spurious attempt to get out of the Twitter deal back before he decided to buy it again. Mr. Musk will also try to shift Twitter away from advertising revenue and toward other money-making opportunities, including payment features, data licensing agreements, and a mysterious new subscription product which he has only called X, and which he has claimed will have 104 million paying users by 2028. Owning Twitter is different. If the deal closes, Mr. Musk will have direct control over one of the world's largest megaphones, and will be able to use it entirely as he sees fit. Whether that's to turn it into a lawless free-for-all, take revenge on his political enemies, promote his own business ventures, or do something else entirely. And given Mr. Musk's penchant for seizing the spotlight, we can expect that whatever he chooses to do with Twitter, it won't be boring. There was already no escaping Mr. Musk. Now, looking away will be truly impossible.